I am extremely pleased to introduce your student speaker, Erin Ling, here to share the experiences of this special ERC class of 2021. Erin Ling is a fourth-year ERC student from Shingle Springs, California. During her time at UCSD, she double majored in political science, international relations, and cognitive behavioral neuroscience, and minored in Russian, Eastern European, and Eurasian studies, all while maintaining a 4.0 GPA. Right, clap for her, there you go. On top of all of that, outside of class, Erin served as a member of Delta Gamma and as a music director for the UCSD Tritones, UCSD's oldest a cappella group. Erin has also studied abroad in St. Petersburg, Russia, been nationally certified as an emergency medical technician, volunteered at UCSD Health, and has served as a research assistant in both the Mind and Development Lab and Center for Peace and Security Studies. She is a member of the Phi Beta Kappa National Honor Society, a Regents Scholar, and a regular visitor of the San Diego Zoo. After graduation, Erin plans to apply to medical school to pursue a career in healthcare like her parents, hoping to bring her background in social and cognitive science to the field of medicine. Please join me in welcoming Erin.
Am I muted? Oh, okay. Thank you so much, Dean Spear-Barrett, for that introduction. And I'd like to thank Provost Evans for always inspiring us with your leadership. Distinguished members of the staff and faculty, friends, family, and fellow graduates, it is an honor to speak to you today. Something I learned very quickly during my freshman year was that ERC students care. Now, maybe they don't care for that extra course load at first. They may not care for ERC's less than central location. But the fact of the matter is, we would not be here if we didn't care. Let me briefly walk you through my logic. First of all, ERC students care about their academics. I know this because ERC students have no choice. You cannot obtain a degree from UCSD, enroll in ERC, and complete the Making of the Modern World sequence without being a little mindful of your education. We cared enough to sprint to Geisel before class when our printer conveniently ran out of ink. We cared enough to take on those extra GEs, even when that region specialization came back to haunt us. And we cared enough to make it here, alongside our classmates, our peers, and our friends. Which brings me to my second point. ERC students care about each other. Now, I believe the best example of this resides in the sacred art of mandatory MMW discussions. Now, while my TA believed my paper lacked focus, my classmates thought I had a great title. Thank you. When our neighbor hadn't done the day's reading, we sacrificed for their sake and summarized the article for the class. Now, something I've always valued here at UCSD is that we could be passionate about school and support our classmates. There was no antagonism amongst us because we were in it together. We cared. And maybe we cared not in spite of, but because of those mandatory discussions. Maybe, just maybe, they helped us see beyond ourselves. Which brings me to a final point. ERC students see the bigger picture. They care about cultures and opinions different from their own. They care about finding commonality with people on the other side of the classroom, just as much as they care about finding commonality with people on the other side of the world. During our time here, our class has experienced a world full of ever-radicalizing injustice. We've stood in solidarity with communities of every race, gender identity, and culture. We've sat through lectures about the origins of racism and anti-Blackness, then held our community responsible when we felt inclusion was not prioritized. We've learned about challenges to human rights in our readings, then protested those challenges ourselves in the streets. Not only did we care, but we also had the tools and the courage to do something about it during our time here. So I give these examples as a reminder that yes, we weathered a global pandemic, but we did more than weather it, didn't we? We cared enough about our education to finish our degrees, to make it here when our emotional well-being and our bandwidth were truly tested. We cared enough about each other to show kindness where we could have opted for competition, to keep up with one another virtually. And we cared enough about the world to maintain an open mind in the midst of radicalization. So, although we're entering a future full of uncertainty, I take comfort in the fact that we're a part of this community of caring. However, we didn't create this community on our own. Our caring is a product of so many others' caring. They cared enough to help us with college applications or to offer a flexible work schedule. They cared enough to drag us to Geisel with them or to give us the ultimate gift of extra dining dollars. They even sympathized with the fact that sometimes life does not revolve around an exam. They've inspired us, engaged with us, and believed in us. And we would never have made it this far without them. Because you see, the thing about caring is it begets more caring. And I think we can all agree that the world could use a little bit more of that. Eleanor Roosevelt once said, "We are afraid to care too much for fear that the other person does not care at all." So as we enter a world full of other people, I hope that our class has the courage to care regardless, and the humility to thank those that cared when we did not. Thank you so much for your time, and congratulations, class of 2021.